someone is going through, what is coming to mind is a grieving cycle. So it's kind of like there's a lot of anxiety that I'm feeling in the chest, and it's, when you're in a connection where you're truly connected on a soul deep level, soul deep connection, soul deep bond, and you're in physical separation, you can often go through these grieving cycles, because when you're connected on the energetic and emotional level, there's a reason you met, there's a reason that you've triggered each other's awakening in the way that you have, right? So your soul has to go through a lot of different cycles, if you will, layers of yourself to shed. It's not a quick, easy, process or whatever. And sometimes it can be important for divine feminines to remember that there are times when even you will feel like you just need to just come back to yourself, center yourself. So you need to step back, right? I'm talking about bringing your energy back to you, and it's important you do that. It's important that you're not leaking your energy, if you will, but also to recognize if that does happen, to have compassion with yourself and recognize where that is, because this is your opportunity to do that, right? To understand that, to cycle through, clear through those layers of yourself, because oftentimes if you truly are in that connection, the reason that you will have been experienced separation in the way that you did, because it's not an easy thing to happen, right? It will be because you met each other to show each other every veil that was preventing you from truly seeing your soul, embodying your soul here right now, your divine self, right? This grieving cycle, it feels like there's been a lot of grieving cycles, so maybe this has been quite a while for whoever this is, but each time it feels like I'm going to say what's coming to mind, losing your person, okay? But the process, that the message that's coming through to me here is, with that process being quite cyclic and you've been there before, it's actually starting to feel like, how much are you allowing yourself to lose you? Because if they're truly your mirror, like your soul mirror, they're trying to show you something, right? Again, I know I say this a lot, but I just want to make sure that you understand this isn't about abusive relationships and connections. I read a lot for divine connections, okay? So twin flames, divine counterparts, okay? And high level soulmates as well. So you really want to be able to understand what that process looks like for you, because the emotions will come up, like you feel like your very first initial separation was like nothing ever. You felt that being torn apart because it was you being torn from your shadow. And so it feels like something else is happening, but I just feel like it's a renewal of self that's taking place, right? I'm being shown the phoenix. So it's not about your connection, actually. And sometimes this is another thing you need to do. You need to kind of, this is your divine masculine. Put him over there for a second and make a decision based on you, not based on what it's going to mean for them or how they're going to respond to you or anything like that. You need to come back to you and ask yourself, what is the best thing you need to do for your soul, for your heart space, right? From a place of love, which is why it's so important to access that, which is where you have to remove all those layers of the veils across your heart space. Sometimes aren't easy to see, because they do look like, codependency, attachments that you've learned, that templates, a foundation you learned from a very young age, and healthy attachments, so you can end up reacting, to people in your life, whether it's romantic or not, in ways that are from a triggered, wounded space. That's okay. It's just about recognizing that, so you can heal that, so you can step up for you. Okay, so when you make these decisions, intention is everything. Intention is always everything, right? So grieving cycle, and they're hard because it is about releasing. You have to release, because there's a reason you're suddenly being that grieving. You're attaching to that person. You're scared that you've done something, or you're going to do something that's going to lose. I feel really emotional. Wow. So this is really like, wow. You're so scared you're going to lose. That's really intense. Okay. The Tower in reverse. That's good. So you definitely had a lot of internal, absolute, it felt like a wreckage at the time, but it actually was a narrow escape. So something that, if you had continued, would have been from a very wounded space, but instead it had to happen the way it did. Divinely orchestrate. Oh my God, look at the bottom of the deck. The Lovers. You weren't at that space, you weren't ready. Even though you probably both really wanted to be, you probably saw each other. There's a lot of emotion. You saw each other in light, you really did. But there was guards. You couldn't balance this. And there were a lot of guards here. Divine Feminine, you had a lot of guards, is what I'm seeing. Divine Masculine was massively focused on becoming a person, a version of themselves that they felt they needed to be before the lovers. But I think that maybe it took over them. They were distracting themselves with whatever it was that they were focusing on instead of dealing with their emotions beneath the surface that were actually the issue, and not a distraction that society makes them think that they need to focus on. And maybe they do, but not in the point of distracting their truth of what's happening beneath the surface, so they can truly connect on a deeper level and say, you know, these are my priorities. Let's try and make this work, or let's like do what we need to do. You know, maybe it is time or whatever it is that you need. And I'm getting this, it's so interesting because those emotions that was just coming over, but I've got this energy here with this Divine Feminine being very guarded, very self-protective mode. You could have, I'm hearing father wounds, or even mother wounds, but definitely something to do with, I'm hearing like you're used to emotional avoidance. So you, oh my God, look at that, the King of Cups. You're not used to the King of Cups. You're not used to emotional stability. You're not used to the energy of Six of Coins. Let's do this together. Obviously, this is a mess. I wasn't going to take these, but you know, they're speaking to me. Wasn't used to this. Let's do this together. Equal give and receive. Not, oh, if you do this and I'll do that, and, or you know, it has to be like this, or you can't get, you know, yeah, okay, you have walls, and you have to heal through that. So you end up, so you can kind of alchemize it into boundaries. Yes, okay, you're protective of yourself because of everything that happened before you. They do say, don't they, the most testing relationship is the one that you get after the most breaking one, the karmic one, basically. You know, the one where you learn trust issues. Even if you didn't have them before, maybe you did, but do you know what I mean? The one where you really are treated in a way that is just so far from divine love. Yes, it's a love in its own right. You know, I always say there's different loves, but you were still carrying the wounds, the scars. I think that there was a lot of patience needed here with each other, but it wasn't adhered to. It wasn't honoured. I'm here getting this energy of wanting to rush for things to be a certain way. There's way too many cards coming out here. Six of Wands in reverse. Yeah, pride before fall. So you both knew what success looked like to yourselves, but there's way too much ego in the way. Way too much. I think that there was a lot of conditioning for both of you that you needed to clear through. Okay, for this new path, Two of Wands to come through. My God, that emotion was like so intense. Like whoever this is, you've already been experiencing that grieving process like that. And you know, I'm talking about grieving internally, the cycle that you go through. That's something else, that is, because you constantly, every cycle you feel like you're losing them or whatever it is, and it's just all the things that every time I say it, I cry. I want to cry. You think of all the reasons, the same mindset that you had before they even entered the scene that comes to you. It's like that inner child, so scared, and everything that inner child thought is coming to your mind. And you're in a teenager as you grew up, as the guards got bigger and bigger and bigger and heavier, heavier, heavier. Everything, every reason for those guards comes into you. Heart and mind. Oh my God. Letting go. Learning detachment. Truly. You had to do this. Both of you. I don't know if you realise this, but both of you needed to learn detachment. You did. And you've both been thinking about it a lot. Didn't mean that you weren't on each other's thoughts. I want to make that clear. Yeah, because otherwise it would have just been repeating the same cycles. And the tower, like I said, the tower would have been the right way up, and, you know, a reckoning, literally. Ace of Swords. So you've literally been gaining clarity that you needed, the awareness that you needed. Clarity of mind is such a big deal, you know. I think people don't talk about that mental health enough, you know, especially when it comes to connections. You have to create space of safety for each other's mind. And it can be the smallest things that can get someone going, you know. Sometimes you just need a moment to speak your truth, like to gather that within you without someone coming in and, you know, it's like the smallest things. So communication is clearly an issue here, has been. Okay, and that would have just caused even more trouble ahead, you know. Stuckness, not evolving, going backwards. You don't want to be going backwards. You want healthy communication, okay. High Priestess. with this high priestess, I do feel like you're a bit of an alchemist yourself, right? So you are able to really, I think you've actually accessed this more than ever within you, this ability to really find an internal balance by truly acknowledging the awareness and insight you've gained around your heart space because of the walls that were there, the guards. You're understanding the situation better. This detachment energy is you're actually doing better than you realize. So when this overcomes you, this energy that I'm feeling, it's because it's reminding you of where you were and where you have now the opportunity to move towards because of who you've become as a result of everything. Okay, this high priestess, she's, and this Five of Swords in reverse, you're completely shifting the energy. You're removing that kind of mental tug of war is what I say. That the things that you were constantly going through, thinking that it was just conflict, maybe blame, or thinking constantly about the reasons why things happened the way they did, and you're finding balance. I will say that I don't think you spoke to anyone about this. It's very much internal. And I think that actually there's clearly things that need to be cleared through here for both of you. Very much so. Okay, it just hasn't been cleared, but I think that you weren't at the space at all. And like I said, I feel like it's been a while. You weren't at the space to have these right conversations. Remember, your communication is one of the biggest issues here. 1, 2, 3, action. You had to find a balance within, and it wasn't going to happen until you did that. So you really showed each other parts of yourselves that needed to be addressed that weren't before. This beautiful Ace of Wands to come through. Passion here in this new start. You've got 2 aces on the table. Definitely moving towards new beginnings, whatever this cycle is that you're going through right now. Queen of Cups as well. Another intuition, like your intuition is, you're very intuitive. You're also very emotionally, that's why I'm feeling so much emotion. You really do feel emotion on such a deep level. You might have a very artistic, creative flair. You like to flow. When you talk about writer's block, it's because the flow, something's stop the flow, right? And you like to be in flow, and you are often. And I think whatever this has been has helped you to remove those blockages. So something that is almost like a miracle. Let's be honest, a miracle. Something to be grateful for, right? Even if you didn't feel like it at the time. Okay, so it feels like with this, I think that someone's really recognizing their priorities right now. I'm going to get another one here. And they're learning how to ensure that moving forward with that passionate start, that is the passion, the energy that maybe was driven in the, walking away energy, the Ace of Cups. It was driven in the wrong way, if you will, before, in the way that caused disaster. So the things that you needed to see, that you even had that within you, it's kind of like it's being adjusted so that the planning moving forward can be more, can be from a healthier space and not just cause this feeling of unhealthy attachment. Also something about releasing external attachments as well that isn't even to do with each other. Just as I said that, no way. Ace of Cups in reverse, Queen of Wands. I feel like there could have been a third party energy here, a third party who was, that energy of I'll do what I need to get what I want. This is where I think there's needed to be reflection. And maybe this was the energy within you as well, But I think, the devil, literally, and it says strings attached on that. So that's probably what it is then. There probably was some external energies that I can feel like, that's probably why it's a narrow escape for you, because there were way more going on before, that you would have just been entangled in, and that wasn't going to happen for you. That's why I said divinely orchestrate this, divine intervention, because clearly you were being divinely protected. And I always say it's so important to recognize that. Father wounds is a thing here. So I was right. Definitely. I think that you're used to having, I'm not sure if you're used to it, but maybe you are used to it, but I don't think it's something you align with or you enjoy or like at all. This authoritarian approach, has to be this way. Maybe logic leading, or just the way I desire to go. It has to be like this. That energy, that wasn't going to help this situation. Okay. Don't forget, you're coming out as the Queen of Cups and the High Priestess. You need empathy, 444. You need an empathetic approach. You need someone who's like wholeness, I'm hearing wholeness and integration, someone who's able to hold all of you. But I also think that this is what you had to learn to be as well. Even if you thought you were, I think there were parts of you still that were blocked off. I said that before, right? So, all right. Overcoming sorrow. I was going to say, what's happening moving forward? Overcoming sorrow. Three of Swords in reverse. And, you know, that's also a card of, it is a card of reconciliation for some people. But there is this energy that's come out with it, and that's choosing your battles. Knowing what is yours to invest in. Remember I said you have to understand what's worthy of your energy. What do you want in your future? What you want in your future vision? What is aligning with that? That's not just assuming and making assumptions and things up. It's actually asking the questions. It's actually having those right conversations and holding the space for the truth. And for other people to evolve on their journey just as you are. And you should have that in return, right? So Hierophant in reverse. Let's get another one. Hierophant in reverse. I think I've just Hierophant in reverse. What is this about? Okay. I think this is about breaking through the systems, truly. You know, the institutional way of doing things. Breaking through that. Because it's judgment. There's been a serious awakening call. Your path is nothing like those before you. Family legacy. You're here to create a whole new legacy. You need the right person, people with you, around you to do that. So you needed this awakening to recognize, I think, that you weren't on your path. You were not on your path. So whatever this is, and you having to go through all those shedding and the layers, it's so that you could find your core and understand what your true path is. Judgment. Yeah, 10 of Wands. I think that you were carrying a heavy weight. So maybe it was your person as well. Maybe you're reflecting this, but it feels like there's this heavy weight of things needing to be a certain way. You need to follow the tradition, or even just if you're used to coming from that energy where, you know, your family always just did the thing that society told them, you know, have the 9 to 5, do, you know, and then retire with the whatever. And I don't know, there's something about that you needed to, it's almost like I'm seeing, you know, they're breaking the generational cycles, the patterns. You need to answer that call, and whatever this is has helped you. Restoring harmony, very good. So this is about no longer feeling like you're in competition, none of this thinking there's jealousies and, you know, listening to too many external influences as well, whether it's close to you or even just strangers online or something, you know, learning your truth. Yeah, look at that internal change. Literally the Death card in reverse. Scorpio energies as well. For water signs, fire signs. Wow, and earth. And air, we got more here. Okay, so internal change. Massive internal change. That's why we're seeing that Phoenix. Interesting. So that literally says lacking direction. I did say that you were lacking direction. That's why you've had to have this massive internal purge, if you will. That, you know, the Phoenix fires. Yeah, there's been some really unwelcome change here, but you needed to be realigned onto your path, realigned onto direction. You need direction. Yeah, okay. This is where there needs to be conversations. 7 of Swords in reverse. It's time to set the record straight. Really is. I think that for a long time you were following the path of something that you weren't even sure of. You know, I said there was a third party. I think that you weren't told the complete truth about whatever this is, this third party. So maybe you think you made it even worse in your own mind than the truth of it. This did come out, 10 of Coins. That's abundant, truly. And again, family legacy and the star with it, which is coming true. Stars are aligning, you know, there's miracles around you. You've got this air of miracle around you, you know, and once this energy of straightening the record can actually happen, you can truly find this true stability. This 10 of Coins, you know, you're preparing for something so yes, abundant, but also so trustworthy. You know, there's commitment here, there's loyalty, whatever you're creating around you, the magician, right? You have the tools in front of you now. I think before you did not. You know, before all of these situations, you really had to been awoken by your connection. Right, there's a decision that needs to be made here. And I think it's to do with that conversation, the truth coming to light, okay? Yeah, someone's in absolute anguish over this. The Hermit. Spiritual mastery, they could be very silent right now. Right now, they're trying to balance their head and their heart right now because their emotions and their mental space. And that's that grieving thing. So maybe you truly are the Hermit, the Lovers, the Fool, new beginnings ahead. But maybe they truly are going through this at the same time as you. Maybe you don't realize this. Could be picking up on their energies. So this is that energy of finding that balance then. Remember how I said you've been finding that internal balance. You had to have this space to find some inner balance. Truly for this, you've got 3 aces on here, I've just noticed. But it's truly for this passionate start. And I think that's been something internally within you. Something about your creative center and your abundance center. You could genuinely be a creative. You know, souls are in themselves. You've clearly been tapping in during this separation, okay? Yeah, there's a balance here needed between that head and heart. But not from a wounded space anymore. I think this is exactly why you're going through this cycle right now, this grieving cycle. So you can find that balance internally, okay? What do you need to be aware of? Expect the unexpected, fire signs, and Leo at the bottom of the deck as well. So yeah, that literally says creative as well. So there's a lot of passion here, and that's coming up more than once. You got, you know, yeah, there's passion here. But this is where you had to have a renewal, learning how to connect to that energy and not have it control you, you know, not just be led by impulse, yours or another's, you know, 'cause sometimes you can really just go along because like you're so like in the energy of someone else and then just, you know, kind of get it going together, especially if you're truly deeply connected like this. No wonder you have to be in separation. So that's why everything that is coming out for a reason, as usual. Twin flames. I'm absolutely not shocked. Okay, they just fell out. Okay, 11. You already have I think you're massively mirroring, and I don't even think you realize it because you're clearly in separation. And like I said, this is a physical separation. So divine feminine, you know, you can feel like you're, both of you can, but I'm talking specifically to divine feminine, you can feel like you're crazy sometimes, even though you're the one who has the most, like genuinely speaking, you have the most faith, right? Because you're so divinely spiritually protected, but then you've had no proof from your person. It can be so hard. I think this is where those things come through to test you. So even if you want something coming through from your person, you're the one who has to first master your mind and your emotions, your heart. And believe it or not, they're helping you to do this truly on their path. Okay, and clearly if this message is for you, it's going to align with you. Otherwise it's not, right? But clearly, you know, and that's another thing, divine masculine, one of their biggest lessons is not to get over this time. It's been so long, whatever they're thinking, and sometimes they have this lesson to do with time. I'm seeing that death card again, you know, and they need to get over that so that they're not passive, so they know how to take action, so they can really, the world needs a divine masculine. My God, does the world need it? And a divine feminine, clearly. You know, it's kind of divine feminine sets the tone on that emotional, energetic space. It's up to the divine masculine to step up and lead it physically, you know, because clearly we're living in that 3D world, unless you travel, whatever. Anyway, the point is, it can be difficult. And this is, again, I think this is something else where your faith is being tested, if you will. You've had this many times, but this time is different. This time you're really recognizing that you want to alchemize this differently. You want to step back. You want to bring harmony here. You don't want to, you know, send any of that negative energy out there. You want to hold that faith. Even if it's nothing to do with your person, their face, their name, whatever. Knowing that you are truly activated on this path and you're going to do what you need to do, right? Leo, strength card. Courage. Massive energy here for both of you has been learning how to have courage in your path, in yourselves. That confidence that's required, the courage of the heart, not just for connection, but to follow that heart, because that's where your passion, your purpose is. Okay. Oh my God, look at you, the Empress, powerful. So you truly are on this journey, and you truly are more activated than you realize. The star again, inspiration. I think you bring other people inspiration. Your light does. Your light does. You're clearly connected to it more than ever. That beautiful Queen of Cups, your heart space is like shining light. Truly, and that Queen of Wands, you know, I recognize third party energies, but I also feel like you needed to learn your power. You truly need to learn your power here. There's altruism, there's hope, there's faith, there's healing. You're such a giver, my God. But you've really learned how to heal the wounds of that, not overgive, you know, healthy boundaries. With this Empress now, very fertile energies, beauty, charm, love, pleasure, attraction, and you're focusing on you. With that's what this grieving cycle is trying to show you. Bring that back to you. You are the divine feminine. You are the Empress. Powerful. Because your heart is, that's again, courage of your heart. These first 4 cards are like really powerful. 4 Emperor energies. The Moon. Okay, this is it. See, this is all the unspoken, unsaid stuff that's made you have this brought up all of this beneath the surface to the surface. The subconscious becomes conscious, and in a way that was very triggering for you, the deception, the anxiety, the fear, blocking your own intuition. Things were stuck, and they have been. Like I said, the love is hiding there again. You really are coming into internal union, which is going to really allow the energy of this connection to ground into union too. Okay, so stay focused. Okay, you've got this. You have to become someone who's way more, you're able to rely on yourself in a way where you're not then codependently attaching to someone else to fix things, to fill voids. The Emperor. My gosh. I honestly think you two are mirroring so much right now. And I think that actually this like blocked intuition, this deception, all that stuff that I was saying, they're healing through that right now as well. And you're helping each other through that energetic connection. But that's who they need to step up into. Like I said, that action-oriented, strong leader, protective, understanding their path. Yes, they have their own karmic cycles that they are bound to, that they need to clear through or whatever. But the way they do that is by stepping into who they've been shown they are through this connection. 6-6. June. Empress and the Emperor. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, here it is. The water sign energies. Intuitive, emotional compassion. You both have to learn this. This again is the inner union that you both experience within yourself, your inner yin and yang, right? Things are fluid. Things feel 50-50, and this is why it's so shaky, the emotion. That Uranus, a fool, taking that leap of faith, rolling that dice, and you have to do that on your own path first. You really do. Oh. Okay, so we've got the King of Fire, so a lot of fire energies. Within 7 days, something's happening, but then you've got the Taurus energies, and this, oh my God, you've got Taurus, double Taurus. So this is a Hierophant. This is about high-level commitments, truly, but also being a leader, stepping into your leadership role. I think that as you close out this cycle, the grieving cycle that we keep saying, you're going to actually be in a way more stable place, and you realize enough to move forward, especially on your path. You're a leader. You're a leader. Your voice, your energy, your light is needed. Whatever's going to play out now is going to play out for the next. Not only has it been happening, like the world literally cycles, Saturn retrograde could be important for you, but not only has it been happening for a year or even over, it's going to, whatever this is now unraveling for you, so you can level up into that more of the Empress energy, what you're closing out here, the duties of your soul. The energies that caused towers before, not just with your person, but in your life generally, maybe with other people, your connections, or even just like, your abundance path. Maybe you really were guided to take things, do your own thing, but it just felt like trouble ahead all the time. You're cleansing through that, you're clearing through that. This is what's going to allow this new unfold to take place. Allow the divine timing. This is a connection that is timeless. Life force, divine is all over this, truly. Wow, we'll get another couple. What else do you need to be aware of? All systems go. Oh my God, the Queen of Fire is on. Chariot. Willpower, determination. This is why it's divine timing, because like I said, divine timing is when you're in alignment. It's not a magical day in the calendar, it's when you're in alignment. So really, it is in your hands. But you have to try and understand it. So it can feel like fuzzy because you want that goal, but you have to go through the process. That's the biggest thing about these journeys. You really have to be in the present moment so you can honor the journey for what it is, not just straight on that goal, but what's unraveling, so that you don't lose sight. Willpower, determination, success, action. You're going to get some kind of success, I'm going to say, in the next at least 2 weeks, something that's going to give you even more of almost like that drive, re-energize. That's the world keeps wanting to come out, Saturn. So something to do with your karmic energies that you've been closing out. Oh, that's big then. Yeah, solar flash. That's a massive ascension. You are going through a massive ascension. This emotion, my God. Rest, look after yourself. Be kind to yourself right now. You really need to. With strong boundaries, even with yourself. Do that thing. Look after yourself. Cook the good meal. If you need to work out. If you need to have a meditation, have a meditation. If you need rest, a bath, whatever it is. Listen to yourself right now. It's so important. You're up leveling, imminent event. I'm telling you, within 7 days, a dimensional shift. I kept talking about dimensions. It's coming through for a reason. Clearly, it's something that you're understanding better and allowing the divine unfold here. So the card at the bottom is another one about allowing the allowing things to unfold. Yeah, this isn't about that impulse that we spoke about, but intentional now. Okay, intention is everything. Enjoy the process. There's expansion happening. Whatever opportunity is coming within the next 7 days, I feel like I need some clarity for you. What do you need to be aware of for these next 7 days? Let's find out. Next 7 days. What do you need to be aware of in the next 7 days? Yeah, feminine energy. So it's to do with the divine feminine, whether it's within you or someone else. What do you need to be aware of, divine feminine, within the next 7 days? Ooh, there's something, this ball and chain energy. Something that's been weighing you down. That codependency, it could be that as well. That's coming up now. Yeah, look at that. Cycles. You're closing that cycle right now. My gosh. Okay, you got 29, 35, 25. So whatever's been keeping you stuck and you don't even realise it. Right? Heavy, feeling heavy on your heart maybe. That Queen of Wands. And something's been stopping your light, your abundant flow even. That's what it is. That's clearing as well. I don't think it's something that's too obvious to you. It's been blocked from you. This is why you've had to really go deep into that internal change energies. Like, that's where you're having to go process through all these emotions. Agreement, pact, cycles, promise, karma, closure, circle of trust, committed, contracts, partnerships, reaping what you sow. I'm hearing multiple things. It could be something to do with friendship that's changing, or it could even be something to do with business as well. Okay, reaping what you sow though. So intention is everything. Stay in your center, whatever works for you. Again, your creativity is important here. Yeah, you are a lighthouse. Something really, this is like multiple confirmations. This really is something that's coming to an end. Yes, maybe something that was unexpected and sudden in the past. There's a change taking place. You've actually found your right direction now. So now it's like time to harvest. I feel like this might be a full circle thing going on here, which you need to be aware of for the next 7 days. Oh my God, literally divine timing, the clock. Perfect timing, number 19. Origins, combination, incremental, longevity, unstoppable, standing the test of time, past, present, future. So whatever has been standing the test of time right now, you're going to be shown it. What else do you need to be aware of? This is a card of separation, actually. It's interesting. Oh my God, the snake. Betrayal, silent treatment, toxic environments. I don't really use that word, but that's what it says. Isolation. You've been in isolation. That's a difficult one, that is. To know when to take action. It can be difficult if you're on that, like, finding that inner balance. Okay, let's see what else. Confirmation for you. Look at that. Definitely getting rid. Look at the broom. You could be some kind of change even in social media. I'm seeing this deleting. Maybe that's on your mind. Maybe that's what you're really scared to make that decision about, because you don't want it to negatively impact your connection, your person, even though it's nothing to do with them, it's to do with you, what's happening within you, clearing your cycles, removing unwanted stuff, purging, clean sweep. I'm hearing that rolling dice again, total makeover, delete, unavoidable, cleaning up, restoring harmony. You got them twice now, restoring harmony. Whatever this is, it's going to restore some kind of harmony and balance here, where there's been, again, straightening that record. Seven of Swords in reverse. Something's been really off. It's made that grief, with that Five of Cups, that grief is real. This is why you're so in indecision mode, because you don't want to create even more of that energy in this connection by making whatever this decision is that you need to make. Self-expression, the drum, number 1. Be bold, be heard, speak your mind. Communicate healthily, negotiate, so allowing each other the room and space for this. Rhythm, balance, order, sending a clear message from that heart. The Queen of Cups, not this Queen of Wands who wants everything her way, and you know what I mean. What else? Okay, so it could be something to do with your audience here as well, number 20 and 8. Maybe you've got some kind of event coming up, you've got you're growing some kind of audience growing around you. Could even be your community around you, okay? They need to hear you. Like I said, your voice is important. Emotional intelligence. That's that head and heart balance I keep talking about. Communication, written communication. This could be something to do with your purpose path, seeing something to do with that business contract I was talking about. We'll get some more confirmation, which is why you're being told to make sure you speak your mind as well. What it is that you need and your requirements here, okay? So making contact, written documents, records, mail, writing, communication, 27, 7, 28, 31, okay? So compassionate wisdom, emotional intelligence, mindfulness, holistic insight, was talking about this wholeness, integration, authentic decision making, intellect and emotional balance. Wow, interesting. This is all about you as well. There it is. The snake came out. That's what needs to be cleared up. That Seven of Swords energy. Are you going to get an enlightenment about this? Oh my god. Oh my god. Maybe there is something to do with the child, but it could also be that there's a new beginning here. Yeah, that fertile energy. 7, 26, 13. There's deception, jealousy, betrayal, backstab, toxic seduction, sexuality, counterproductive. Maybe there was something that happened with that seduction, sexuality energy that you didn't know about, you know? There's going to be an aha moment. Discovery, breakthrough, reveal, realize, enlightenment, epiphany, illumination, invention, intellect. Wow. This is why you have to stay grounded in your emotion with whatever's coming. This red flag is interesting. I'm just going to confirm what's going on there. Whoa. Oh, okay, no, that's good then. So just don't get in your ego in that impulsive place. You'll be good. But this is a really positive card. You got 31 again. So you got 1331, 1313, whatever it is. You got that just slipped out of the deck as well. It's karmic cycles. Okay. Yes, energy. So this is good. It's going to give you, it's good. That's where you're going to get that chariot energy, that resurge of energy, climax, fulfilled energy, power, fulfilled. I said that. Radiant, success, vigor, divine masculine, daytime. See how that just fell out my hand as I said divine masculine? You might feel like, oh my god, put it away. Maybe it generally is on your phone. You're like, throw your phone. You know when you do that. Give yourself some time to respond, okay? That doesn't mean, you know, making them wait. You know, be honest, like, whoa, give me a moment before I respond to this properly, thanks. You know, I just heard that's the least I can do. So that's come through for a reason. Wow. Victory, happy, warm. Karmic cycles, all right. Let's get some more confirmation because this is getting interesting. Okay, unknown. This is that fame energy. This is your audience. This is what I remember you're growing online. Also, someone wants stability here. Someone wants to create, I'm literally hearing create a home. So maybe this child is genuinely something to do with, I don't know. I think their inner child too, actually. They want to tell you some truths about this. Maybe there's something to do with that sexual energy. And, you know, your sacral chakra source or your inner child traumas. But even genuinely something like that could have been really, really impactful, like really traumatic as a child, okay? Comfort, safety, family traditions. Your family's coming through a lot here. Family energy. Wanting to create a family legacy, a home, structure, stability, shelter, foundations, but also boundaries. That keeps coming through. Your boundaries are a big deal. Which clearly means you did not have strong boundaries with each other. Something that you showed each other with this energy. You massively mirrored that to each other. Boundaries. Maybe you did, but you didn't enforce them. I'm not talking about this authoritarian energy. I'm talking about healthily from your heart space. You didn't know how to do that. You didn't know how to communicate that. Maybe you're like, oh, if I say too much, they're going to run away. Or, oh my God, if I say this, this is going to happen. You know, you weren't honouring yourself. Snowflake was on the floor. 9, I'm seeing actual snow. Could be important. Wintertime could be important. Maybe you have some kind of memories. Could be important. Original, delicate situation, vulnerable, one of a kind, handle with care, fragile, frozen, state of change, transient, be precise. So you're going to have to be really mindful how you handle this. This is where it's like, know how to handle your emotion, but whatever's closing out in the next 7 days is going to give you the opportunity to learn how to express from a more healthy space. I'm just going to get these for you. I want to get some confirmation for you. Moving forwards. Freeing yourself, releasing the past energies. That's what I mean. There's something here. There needs to be some truth told. You really don't know the full truth here. Taking back control of your life, no longer giving. Remember I said you still energetically might be feeding, leaking, giving away. Reclaiming that. Reconciliation. Whoa. Getting to know each other. This is that inner child stuff. I'm telling you, there's something about the inner child that you do not know. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. And I think that someone's been so scared to be honest about they haven't accepted their truth for a long time. So they're scared of how they're going to be received because this is something that's really vulnerable for them. And it probably is something from what I'm sensing, truly. So for them to be honest about this, my gosh. Reconciliation from the death. What else you need to be aware of? Moving forward. Like I said, you need to hold the faith. Again. Wants to come through. You need to children. Again, children. There could genuinely be a third, like that third party energy. Could have been child, but I'm just getting that inner child massively. You're clearing for a lot of inner child wounds right now. Like I said, this isn't the first time, but this time it feels a bit different. I feel like you have been learning how to love yourself. That's why you want to do things differently. Very good. Very much more aware here. There's something about self-respect that's a big deal here. It's making you more attraction. It's making you more attractive. your self-respect. So honor that time that you need to come back to your center, understanding your emotions. Keep an open mind. So really, what you're going to find out is not what you're expecting. Maybe it's you are that high priestess, you know, you're very intuitive, but there's something different here that is coming through. But your feelings are real and they're worth exploring, both of you. This is where divine masculine has to really learn that and not keep putting themselves off their own path, their own truth. They have to come through with truth. You know, that's why they need to come through to you with truth, because that's part of their massive part of their purpose, not just with you, right? Forgiving and learning. Oh my gosh. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in present moments. Oh, get another one. Gosh, this is really something to unfold. Yeah, separation. Confirmation though, that is a separation. Let's get some more there. What's going on here? Okay. So one of the big red flags you've had to really learn here is surrender. Is that surrender, not trying to control everything. That would have just constantly caused separation after separation, you know. That's one of the biggest red flags, if you will. Okay, when you know that that's your person, your person is your person. You're meant to align, you know, not force things. You shouldn't be acting in a certain way so they respond in a certain way. You should be true to yourself and true to each other. That's why honesty is so I'm massive advocate of honesty, which is interesting because it's Seven of Swords, straightening the record. Big deal. That's why it's come through here, right? Light-hearted energy. So I have to get another one now. Well, I don't have to, but I feel like the call is real. Okay. So it's definitely something about, don't forget, like reconciliation kept wanting to come through, but it just didn't. Something about finance is a big deal right now. Okay, maybe for you, because that keeps coming through about your purpose path, but there's a new love cycle coming through. Okay, I didn't even say what I wanted. Well, there's an eagle now. 19. Challenging the status quo, longevity, regal, proud, opportunity, new hope. You're going to see things clearly. So that new hope is coming from the answers that are coming. Past, present, and future. You're going to understand the situation better and you're able to connect the dots better. Okay. Divine masculine, animal card. Every time. Why is it shocking me so? You're going to be shocked. Every time I'm just shocked that this comes out. The suns. Look at them. Lovers. Number 6. 6 is a number of Venus. Right? The lovers as well. Soulmate, twin flame. That's twice now. You've got the twin flame card twice. The only 2 cards of twin flame I have here. Well, actual 2. I have had other cards. Anyway. Faith, a pair of things. Blooming love, the one. Deep soul connections, divination, fluidity. Again, fluid. Things feel fluid. But it's actually really sharpening your connection to your higher knowing, your divine self, but also to your truth. Learning how to have faith in your divine lens is what I call it. Divine feminine card. So your divine masculine is fully aware of this connection. And they are feeling it. Okay, divine feminine. Maybe you're healing through family things as well. Number 10, deeply committed. Uncommon bonds, family, manifesting your deepest desires. You really are focused on your path of purpose is massively connected to that. So your deepest desires when it comes to so many different things in your life. You know, that can be so difficult, but you're a magical being. You really are. Okay, going all in for what you love. You have that energy. You will go all in. You know, that's why you want that in return. So when you don't, it's like, what's going on? You know, it's not nice. Reawakening lost hope. That's more than once you've had that reawakening. Whatever this is, it's going to reawaken lost hope. Final few messages for, especially because I say 7 days. I just want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. Because obviously you're going to be releasing the ball and chain energy. So that's your own inner codependent energies, the past, whatever it is. You and your loved ones say the connection is safe. Cancer sign energies. Anything else? Whoa. 4-4. Confidence is just the key to success. Again, Leo energies. Confidence. Your confidence in yourself, in your truth, in your knowing. It doesn't even have to attach to that person. Just like divinely showing you that, no, this is your path. And like, yeah, it can be hard. You know, take time. Time for healing. There's things that you're learning how to have faith in yourself. And you need this time, especially when whatever this is comes to light. Allow yourself the time to integrate the understanding of whatever's happened. Hold your vision. I said that. Expect powerful change. You're not crazy, okay? Prosperity lies ahead. My gosh, I think that again is to do your abundance path. Stepping out of your comfort zone as well. Taurus is coming through heavy for this energy. Okay, what's that about? Okay, so nothing will come of the situation. So whatever's going to come through that triggers you, that's just showing you what you need to release. You know, this fiery climax as well, like there's a lot of passion here, you know, but that passion, that was a new romantic cycle. You don't want that passion to lead in an unhealthy way, which is why I think you're going to be doing things differently, which is why this prosperity lies ahead, which is why you're going to have confidence and not be like, oh, if I don't do that, they're going to go, or whatever. You're going to be like, no, I know my worth. I know my truth. Let's, you know, understand this clarity from that throat, that heart space, and finally close out this cycle so we can move forward, that forgiveness energy, truly, and learning from this. Everyone has something to learn here, okay? Wow. Let me know if this message was for you. Sending love.